What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with another deck profile, and this time I took Floowandereeze to the Louisville Regional and got 5th place overall. I took Plant Link to the Regional on Saturday to Columbus, Ohio, and that deck sucks, so I'm never going to play it again. I'm just going to play Floowandereeze from now on because it's so crazy how good this deck is, in my opinion at least. So I'll get into the deck profile, but I'm going to go over my matchups first. If you just want to skip this, then go right ahead. I don't really care. Round 1 was against Predaplant Despia. I won 2-0, won the die roll. So overall, I won 2 out of 8 die rolls, which is pretty bad for like a wanting to go first deck. But this deck can clear boards if you know what you're doing with it. Pretty easy. And D-Shifter helps. So round 1 was Predaplant Despia 2-0, 1 die roll. Round 2 was against Trickstar Mine. That's my only round I lost. I lost 2-1. Games 1 and 3, believe it or not, he opened Reincarnation, Droll. So, you know, not much I can do. Round 3 was the Mirror, and I'm pretty confident in the Mirror. I played it a lot. He didn't seem too experienced with it, which is a very bad sign, or it's a very good sign for me, but very bad for him. I Avion, like game 2, I just like Avioned. Set up Avion in the trap, Avion his wins, trap to summon back Avion, and then Avion his map. It was game. Round 4 was against Earth Machine with a bunch of floodgates. I won 2-1. I lost the die roll. I played through Skill Drain game 1 by normaling Eagle with the map, reveal Eagle, banish Robina, normal Eagle, Chainlink 1 Eagle, Chainlink 2 Robina, with skill Drains up on the field currently. He said sure. I Chainlink 3, Advent Adventure to banish the Eagle so that I could resolve it. Add Robina, add Impin, activate the trap, normal Robina, activate Eagle. Yeah. Oh, I think I already had a monster in field or something. I don't know how I did it, but I was able to just use my regular normal summon for Impin. Pretty cracked. He couldn't get over a 2700 beater with skill drain up, with his own skill drain up. Game 3 I went first. I lost game 2, and then game 3 I went first. D-shifted, put up barrier statue, and he lost. Round 5 I played against True Draco, which is surprising to me, but I won 2-0. He made me go first, which was, I guess it was a going second True Draco deck. I put up full combo. I ashed the diagram, and I won. Game 2, I had like Impin. I can't remember what I had up, but oh yeah, I don't think I had anything up. Oh no, I had a Impin and Avion up, and he normaled a Mono YuGiOh and activated Mystic Mine. I said sure. He put Mono YuGiOh back in his hand because I had 2 monsters. He had 1. I was able to unexplore wins the Mystic Mine with Ryza. Ryza, bounce a card, or put a card back to deck, add it back to my hand, normal Ryza again, attributing one of his cards, putting another one of his cards back to top, and 1 to his hand, like just OTK with those 3 cards. It was crazy. Round 6 was against Pure Despia. Lost the die roll. Game 1, he put up a good board, like in the normal board. I tried to play through it. He Guardian Chimeraed me for like my map, my whole life, and then put up, still had a Winter Jade on field, and the rest of the cards in my hand were like Mystic Mine Eagle. So I just Mystic Mined him, and it said like, how many cards do you have in deck? He had 26 and I had 29, so he immediately scooped because he didn't main it out. Game 2, I just won by out-resourcing him with Ryza. Round 7 was Punk Therion. I won 2-0, lost the die roll. He went Zayamin, add Foxy Tune on resolution. I D-shifted and he lost. Game 2, I opened D-shifter again whenever he tried to Therion Foolish Burial card it. He did end up putting up Psychic and Punisher, but he didn't know that Unexplored Winds was not an activated effect, so I was able to just attribute over it. And won. because of D-shifter. And then round 8, I 2-0'd Brave Virtual World on table 2. Somehow didn't top 4, even though I was on table 2 in the last round, but whatever. 1-2-0, won the dice roll this time. So my first and last rounds were the rounds I won the dice roll. I opened like Shifter, Robina map, so and I ended up, I opened like Shifter, Robina map, something else, and I was able to Shifter him, waited a turn, came back to me, I banished it, shifted him again with the second Shifter, and then Ryza looped the Shifter back, drew it for turn, normal, did it again. So I ended up Shiftering him 3 times game 1, and that was game because he just had to use so many resources to play. If you hear that noise in the background, it's my little kitten going crazy right now. Game 2, I opened Shifter again. So my last 4 games, I opened Shifter. It was crazy, and I went second all 4 games. Oh no, I guess I went first against Brave VW. But yeah, game 2, Shifter won because you can't do anything in VW under Shifter. But let's get into the deck profile. Enough talking. Time to show some cardboard. And I hope this camera's better. No more glare. I got a new tripod finally. But 3 Robina, 3 Eagle, 1 Toucan, 1 Stree. Like obviously this is normal. I think this is normal by now. I think this is standard. These 2 cards. These 2 cards are so unbelievably crazy for just keeping you in the game. Either banishing like whatever you need to, the branded spell, whatever. And this card like looping the trap by just bookending their monsters, adding it back, normally on their turn, bookending their monsters, adding it back. It's so crazy. And just being able to add the big bird, Impin too. Little birds is Stormwinds, obviously. And then for big birds, 2 Impin and 1 Ryza. I'd like not to play Avion in the main. I just I'd rather like, the only time I ever want to see Avion is if they're going to evenly match me, honestly, or against the mirror match and Eldlik. That's like the only time I want to see Avion. So I decided like 3 is enough. I'll take the risk of getting, evenly matched game 1 by some random going second deck, then breaking all tournament on 4 big birds. And it worked out pretty well. Never bricked on them. For pot cards, I played 1 Extravagance, 3 Prosperity, 3 Duality. Some people are playing 2 of this card. It was cracked when I saw it, but I only saw it like once. And I cited it out every game going second. For the Floowandereeze cards, spell cards, map, 3 Advent, 1 this card. This card's unbelievably crazy. Like, this deck's been out like 6-7 months, and people still don't know what this card does. It's crazy to me because they just don't play around it. And like literally in my last round, round 8 against VW on table 2, I activated this card and I said effect, and he goes, I said effect to draw, and he goes, what? And he read it again. I'm like, oh my guys, you have to plan for Floowandereeze. It's gonna be all over. And if you don't plan for it, you're gonna lose to it. And then for like just broken cards, 1 Terraforming, 3 Mystic Mind, and a Called By. I played the 2 Mystic Mind just because like Terraforming acts as a 3rd one, and like it also acts as a 4th map if you need it. And then Called By is obviously crazy. Mystic Mind was nuts today whenever I had it. Yeah, that card needs banned bad. And then 1 Trap. And then for hand traps, I like to play hand traps instead of going second cards. Like a lot of lists are right now and how I was doing it previously. But I think like you just need to, with all the combos going around, like Dark Ruler just gets way worse because if you don't hand trap Punk Therion, like, what are you going to do? You're going to Dark Ruler them and hopefully you open wins and a way to get to Ryza and they don't ash you or something. Like, it's just not worth it. I'd rather like neuter their board, and like keep the game going longer rather than just like putting all of my hope and dreams into activating Dark Ruler, be able to clear the board if I open unexplored wins, Ryza, a way to get to Ryza and all these other cards map. I'd rather just like have this with a subpar hand all the time than like hope to God open Dark Ruler with a crazy going second hand or something. So like Card just a new to their board. I think Ash is the best card by far, hand trap wise. And then Imperm was the only other one. Imperm was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too crazy. It was I liked it a lot better than Dark Ruler for sure, and like Book of Moon and stuff. I think it's way better because it's, like I said, I'd rather be interrupting their play at vital points because I just by like studying the meta than like Book of Mooning a Griffin Rider or something, like 1-for-1ing a card. This card could potentially like prevent them from going +3 or something. And then MVP, star of the day, all day, D Shifter, best card in the game. For extra deck, which I didn't go into once, I played Anima. I almost went into this. He summoned the Regulus to this zone, so you know I could have made this, but I didn't need to. Oh shoot, sorry. Phoenix, Unicorn, Gustav, Max, and Libe, just in case you can go like double Impin. And if you don't normal summon that turn, you can make this for game. Zeus stuff, hot ulti Zeus, traded my second one away today, so not in the video, but I did have a second one in the tournament. And then Maximus stuff, which surprisingly, round 7 was a repair, and I figured out after the repair that I was going to be playing Invoked branded Dogmatica. So while this stuff didn't come up, it definitely could have. And way better than playing Cherries, probably. And then for side cards, my going first cards were 1 Avion, 2 of the Broken Ass Spell, and 3 D-Barrier. Avion, like I said earlier, like I'm going to side this in going first against a lot of decks because I just don't want to get evenly matched. Evenly matched is crazy right now. And also, it's broken in the mirror match and Outlook. This card, I really didn't want to break on it. It just sucks so bad. If you open like Robina, this card, Robina, they Ash it or Veiler it, and you're just stuck with like literally a blank card in your hand. Like, it's a turn skip for your opponent, but sometimes it's a turn skip for you too. So I just didn't want to break on it. And then 3D Barrier because it's like the most broken trap in the game right now. And then I decided to play 3 and draw and lockboard. Like, this card is so risky because you never want to see it past turn 1 going second specifically, because if you do, you can't play on their turn because it affects both players. But I feel like the combo decks, like the Punk Therion decks, the ABC Therion decks, all those kind of decks, and then like the mirror match and stuff, this card is so crazy against those decks. So I thought it was almost necessary to play that card. And then for like going second, cards for back row and mine and stuff, 3 Twin, 3 Evenly. Twin was crazy against Despia. I put up Zombie World, and I was able to Pot of Extravagance into Pot of Duality, and then Duality into Twin Twister, and he was super salty, but he was all right. But yeah, that's the deck. That's the regional report. Went X1 overall, lost a total of 3 games all day. Won the die roll twice. So comment down below what you think of the deck, questions, whatever you want to talk about, and peace.